Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Be There in 5 podcast. I'm Kate Kennedy, your host. Every year I have a friend of mine, Caroline Moss, on the podcast to attempt to go over gift guides, given her vocation at G Thanks Just Bought It. She's kind of a professional shopper. And we absolutely never get to gift guides because there's always better things to talk about, whether it's Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn quotes on canvases at a TJ Maxx or Mama Slay the Lake inexplicably printed on driftwood at a lake gift shop in a landlocked state, which you'll find this episode title is in reference to. I do assure you, if you're new here, this is not speech I regularly use, although I'm sure it would be really likable if I referred to myself constantly in the third person and said Mama Slayed stuff. This year, the morning of, I decided, I'd rather talk about Broadway musicals because Wicked's coming out this week, and I think Broadway is a really fascinating pocket of popular culture that I'm not a snob or well-versed by any means, so this is an accessible conversation just even for fans of like frisson, goosebump music, live singing, or even just like shows that are pretty ubiquitous in the cultural zeitgeist and not like niche at all. As much as I'd love to have super refined taste, like I don't know the deep cuts. I mean, I grew up in Short Pump, Virginia, and this is what I think is interesting about Broadway is, and kind of feeds into the lore and fascination is, with the exception of the big hits that go on tours, if you can go or if it comes to your town and you can get tickets, there's a level of inaccessibility and wonder that comes along with it where young people like me are just relegated to the cast album and imagining the plot and how everything fits in and filling in the scenes with your imagination, especially before the internet. So something like Wicked that came out in 2003, I used to march around campus in main character to Defying Gravity and The Wizard and I. And it really fits perfectly in the category of that kind of goosebump-inducing frisson music I like that motivates you and makes you want to find your corner of the sky. To this day, I've never seen Wicked. And I would consider myself a pretty big fan. But I don't really know a lot about like what goes on, the set, the plot, this, that, or the other. It's kind of funny when you think about how frustrating like the resale market markup and like exclusivity of like the Eras tour is so frustrating given it's a musical event of something you really care about and consume from a distance that you can't see in person that often, that has a finite run of shows. It's kind of a similar sensation to a lesser degree when Broadway shows are like smash hits and you don't live anywhere close to where you can see it. If you do get in close proximity, you're lucky if you can get a ticket, much less afford it. And, I've run into this a lot throughout life with it, whether it was like Wicked or Book of Mormon or Hamilton. And you just, you have to wait for it, like Burr, until people stop caring or it comes to a secondary, less major metropolitan city and a national tour or whatever. And yeah, I think that like contributed to a lot of my obsession, was just like being, to quote Dear Evan Hansen, from the outside looking in. But that also limited my like taste and depth of knowledge. So admittedly, this is not a like expert deep dive, rather just two friends shooting the shit about a common interest. And it had been a minute since I was in like the Wicked forums and reading more about the history. You know who has like a really good series about Broadway if you're like a beginner, is Eli Rallo. I think she was like a musical theater major in college at Michigan. She's like a playlist on TikTok called Broadway School that's like really entertaining if you're looking for a distraction this week. And yeah, I feel like, and between like her and watching all of Mary-Kate Morrissey's vocal health videos and thank God getting myself back on Jessica Vosk talk, my feed has been so Wicked forward the past month, and I've been reminded of a lot. I've learned a lot. I've picked up on a lot that I maybe won't repeat accurately. And it's been a great time, honestly, given the other surrounding circumstances that are so deeply unpleasant in the doom scroll. My taste in Broadway is pretty much like, again, like didn't grow up with a lot of access to seeing the actual show. So when I'm like, oh, I love X, I love Y, it doesn't mean it means I've listened to the cast album or stocked it on bootlegs on YouTube. I mean, my favorite Broadway songs, well, there's different categories, but yeah, it's like the classics, the big numbers, the Do Right in My Parade, Suddenly Seymour, Maybe This Time, Defying Gravity. Oh my God, She Used to Be Mine is like maybe one of the most important songs in my repertoire. It's so important, from Waitress. A musical, again, I haven't seen, but like the soundtrack. I love Caroline doesn't, but I love You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. Um, I love I Believe from Book of Mormon. You Can't Stop the Beat is my dream karaoke song. I mean, you guys know I'm obsessed with Hamilton. My Shot is my everything. Wait for It is my everything. Helpless, Satisfied. I mean, you want cringy. I'm the type of person that would like listen to the Battle of Yorktown before I called Comcast. Like music helps me find the gumption that I can't manufacture. Sometimes I'll just listen to Chris Jackson's Last Note if I just want to openly weep. And in case you do too, watch the video of Chris Jackson singing to Obama toward the end of his administration. One Last Time. Oh my God, the One Last Note of One Last Time. I think these are songs I have goosebumps talking about. I could just hear them in my head. And like Greatest Showman, I think This Is Me from now on. So good. Mamma Mia. Winner Takes It All, but Lay All Your Love on Me is actually my favorite song from that. Actually, I do like a lot of Les Mis. I like One Day More on My Own. I'm a big Confrontation stan. I can only do Javert's part though. Don't get me started on the Elephant Love medley, but you guys get it. I mean, that is my like generalized taste in musicals, if you care. Oh, there's a song from Heathers I really like. Oh, and also one of my blind spots is like the movies I love turned into musicals that I just have like never seen. Like I know Legally Blonde, like oh my god, you guys. But like Legally Blonde, Mean Girls, Bring It On, like these for some reason I don't know a ton about those musicals. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Actually, I'm on topic, but I'm getting off. You know what I mean? Like, we got let's bring in our guest. Toward the end, we like talk through some more technical stuff about Wicked that I thought was really interesting, like the different riffs you're allowed to do, the variations allowed per song, and some of the different styles and our favorite Elphabas. And the one thing I'll say is the 12th thing I'll say, given that this show is for the purposes of, commentary, criticism, research, it's a form of entertainment news in its own right. It's a little bit tricky with like fair use playing of clips, and now there's like sophisticated combing that goes on when they hear songs in your podcast and like to get flagged and taken down. So it's like if something's a TikTok sound or like put on an owned social media property, like I'll use it because it's like out there on the internet. But stuff like the bootlegged filming of performances, I'll just play like certain notes because I don't know. I don't know how this works. And I've had a lot of stuff get flagged lately. I always fight it and I usually win, but still it's like not fun to have the episode even like paused on, from air. So anyways, there's like a variability in how long I'll play clips for. So appreciate your patience with that. And I'm so grateful to Caroline for joining me. And we have a lot of ads this week, trying to make up from, the old hiatus and stuff still. So thank you for your patience. And we're so grateful to our advertising partners who allow me to monetize this show and make it free. And anytime you use a code, a vanity URL, you say, I sent you in a post-purchase survey, is huge because that makes them likely to renew, and therefore I can keep doing this job that I love so dearly. Thank you for your patience and for your support of our advertising partners, and I hope you enjoy this conversation with Caroline Moss. You know what time it is? Time for me to hard sell that pistachio pedestal. You guys, they don't call it common goods. It is uncommon goods. Goods that people actually want, that they don't see everywhere, that they didn't know they wanted, that when you shop at uncommongoods.com, they'll be like, oh my God, that's so my dad, that's so my mom, that's so my husband, that's so my sister, brother, kid, whatever. And the holiday season is upon us, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible handpicked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight. That's exactly what I wanted type of feeling. And they scour the globe for original, handmade, absolutely remarkable things. And somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person you know. The best part about their website is like you can drill down, not only for her, for him, for kids, bestsellers, housewarming, wedding. You can go as granular as interests. Are they a geek? What kind? History, tech, science? Do they like to read? Do they want personalized books or their own books, or do they want reading accessories? What sport do they like? Do they garden? Tools, decor. I mean, wellness, animals, foodie, mixology, games, puzzles, everything. They've really got it all. And I should probably stick to bestsellers instead of tell you like my niche picks. But I'm so excited to build my storybook DIY kit. You put like this little world in between books on your bookshelf, and it's so cute. And a lot of times I have like twinkle lights, or they're little storefronts that look straight out of the Cotswolds in the holiday. I don't know. I'm really excited to DIY my book nook. I think that it's like the perfect gift for a voracious reader. This might sound strange, but I'm looking at this thing called a home cook's kitchen stand. Do you guys feel like you know where to put a pot lid when you're like stirring pasta and it's like got condensate? Where are we putting our pot lids, America? Oh my gosh. They have MLB Sunday Slugger ceramic ice cream bowl sets that are baseball hats. And I used to go to Richmond Braves games on ice cream night, and we would get so excited just to get these ice cream bowls that looked like baseball hats. That's so cute. I'm just saying, guys, the pistachio pedestal has 1,100 5-star reviews. It's an attractive wood serving dish where the pistachios go in the middle, and then there's like a moat, and you put the shells in because I think we need a place to put our shells at a social function. I guess I don't need to keep you guys on here while I shop for myself. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5. That's uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5 for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, for all out of the ordinary. If you're looking for your holiday season to be merry and bright, look no further than Osea's Super Glow Body Set. It sounds like I'm reading a script, but I'm not. Because that's how I feel when I put on their Andari Algae Body Oil, among other products. Osea's Super Glow Body Set, it's like honestly such a good gift because I feel like Osea is a brand. It's so high quality. The packaging's gorgeous, whether it's like the frosted glass body oil or this gift set that like comes prepackaged and ready to gift without wrapping. Like, they're gorgeous products. It's like a legacy Malibu-based 30-year-old brand, like started and founded and run by women with like genuinely incredible products that not everybody has always heard of, but like they become obsessed with it when you gift it to them. And I love gifting people something luxurious that they maybe wasn't on their radar that can kind of become like a staple. And Osea's Super Glow Body Set has 3 of Osea's best-selling body care products, an incredible value. Every year I snag one for myself too. Whether you have a favorite things party, do you have a friend, a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, an acquaintance who seemingly has everything? Even that person still needs to take an everything shower. And Osea's Super Glow Body Set is like the everything shower kit. It cleanses, it hydrates, it leaves the skin silky and soft and unbelievably glowing. It contains a full-size Andari Algae Body Oil, which I'm obsessed with. Put it on in the shower when you're a little damp. It keeps your skin hydrated like all day. But not just like, oh, cool, I put on lotion. It locks in moisture and gives you this glow. And I feel like Andari Algae Body Oils, chef's kiss. And their new Andari Algae Body Wash I've loved adding to my routine because it smells so good. It cleanses, removes impurities, leaves skin soft and revitalized. Perfect primer for the Andari Algae Body Oil. And I'm so interested in body care because, skincare is all the rage, but I am strawberry arms and legs aplenty. And their hyaluronic body serum is a multi-surface layer of hydration that lasts for 24 hours that I put on like my extra dry patches. I'm just a huge fan, and that's like a travel size in the kit. So you'll get a full-size body oil, a full-size body wash, and the travel size body serum. And you can save 32% on the set at oseamalibu.com, plus an additional 10% off with code BeThereIn5. It's your go-to gift for everyone on your list. Don't forget yourself. And give the gift of glow this holiday season with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code BeThereIn5 at oseamalibu.com. That's 10% off your first order at oseamalibu.com. The woman, the myth, the legend, Caroline Moss is back on the Be There in 5 podcast. Hi, Caroline.
Hello.
How are you?
Slay. I'm good.
Mama say at the lake.
Mama say at the lake. Mama say. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I think it's funny that we both were, part of our combo today is about musical theater, and we both showed up in turtlenecks with a light, bold lip. We're such thespians.
I came to perform. We are such thespians. Wow.
So every time Caroline and I record, we never have an agenda. Nor could we keep one if we tried, probably. But this morning I was out on a stroll and I was like, you know what? I've been dying to talk like light musical theater with somebody because Wicked comes out this week. And I haven't thought about Wicked since, I literally never think about it or listen to the music, but it's all I did when I was, in high school, college.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of revisited it this weekend, resuscitated my interest, and I was like, maybe Caroline will chat with me about this because you're
Totally.
you're like an actual thespian though, like thespian. I keep saying
The thespian.
did you actually do theater
Yes.
in high school?
Yes.
What
And
were you
middle
in?
school.
What were you in?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I was in my middle school production's all white performance of The Wiz, which
No, you guys did the Wiz.
yes, we did The Wiz, and it was all white because my entire school was like all white. All these like red flags that you don't realize till you're older. You're like, wait, what? And it's like I'm like it's like I always thought, how come no one said this is a bad idea? And it's because everyone was white. There was no one to say it was a bad idea. It was Huku that we did that. So that was 1998.
How dull was your ease on down the road?
It wasn't dull because they encouraged theatrical flair. It's so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's horrible. Actually, I got into like an argument with literally like I tweeted about that once. I was like, I can't believe 20 years ago I was in the all white production of The Wiz. This was like 6 or 7 years ago that I tweeted this, and it turned out the musical director from that show followed me on Twitter and then like defended himself in a tweet, and I was like, buddy, and he's like, I think it was important to teach you guys like the culture, and I'm like, that's not teaching us the culture.
I would love to know what his rebuttal was because I mean,
he said it was important that like we learn different. It's like it was a weak argument. Like that's not us learning different. Like it's learning versus cultural appropriation, and that was obviously cultural appropriation. I was in Carousel, Oklahoma. Newsies. I did a community theater production of Newsies.
you know what's interesting is I was thinking about how one of our like early points of connection was me when I didn't know you very well. For some reason, me, you, and Nora did like Laguna Beach recap for your old joint Patreon. And I found out you were a musical theater head, a thespian, because we were talking about Christina
audition. Yeah.
Yeah. And she tried out for Wicked.
She did. That's right. Wicked, Cats, or Hairspray.
Before that episode, when I was researching for it, I tried to add eyebrows on LinkedIn. She never accepted. She really does still work in theater.
Oh, really?
I thought she might be a paid actor. I thought I was onto something.
Oh no, the casting director?
Yeah, the
she's a
pencil thin eyebrows. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Apparently, I thought there's no way this is real.
No. She is a big. Well, it's not real because that was Telsey, like Bernard Telsey casting agency that saw Christina, and they have ties in with MTV. They do a lot of casting for MTV. So there was like company synergy there. They also were the agency that did the casting for, remember Legally Blonde, like The Search for Elle Woods?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they were like behind that. They were the ones searching for Elle Woods. So I think it was fake in that it wasn't like Christina who got an audition, or Christina's mom who got her an audition as a graduation present on her own merit. It was a real casting agent. It is a real casting agency. And that woman is powerful.
No wonder her face was, I think everybody's face was, do you think it is in good, is it the move to try out for a Broadway show and not sing a Broadway song? Or is that weird?
No, I don't think it's the move. One of the things I remember most about that audition that like was directly in the face of everything you learn about an audition is like, you show up to a Broadway audition embodying the character that you want to play, right? Like you are like, okay, this is this character and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this. Like Leah Michelle, if you watch some of her auditions, like her audition for Rachel Berry for Glee, is like she didn't break character the entire time. She walked in as Rachel Berry. She walked out as Rachel Berry. And Christina is all, freaked out before our audition. And her mom's like, my best advice is just be yourself. And it's like, that's actually horrible advice. And,
for an acting gig.
Right. For an acting gig, be yourself. So, and then she's wearing her like crop top and you see her like belly button. It's like very 2004. But some of the feedback that the casting director gives her is like, we really want to see somebody who like is the character. And Christina's like, okay. So, and then Christina's like, so I don't think I got it. Remember they like walk out? And
yeah.
Morgan's
She's devastated.
Devastated. But I think, yeah, you go in like for a certain type of show, there's a certain type of song that you sing. For the certain type of character, you don't go in and sing like Mandy Moore's big hit from A Walk to Remember.
A walk to remember. I mean,
Top of my lungs.
oh my God. It's like you can tell when a good singer has a bad day, but that was a bad singer having a good day.
But I related so much to Christina in that nail salon scene where Lo and Lauren are like, "Where are you going for spring break?" And she's like, "In New York." And Morgan's like, "Tell them about your audition." I have not watched this in years, by the way. I have it in committed to memory. And Christina's like, "Okay, I have an audition for Wicked Cats or Hairspray." And
I think it was Rent.
Or Hairspray Cats. And Lo goes, and then Lauren goes under her breath. She goes, "What is that? I don't even know. Like, what is she talking?" It was so bitchy. And I like deeply was like, oh, if I'm in this scene, I am Christina.
It was so bitchy. And it was like, because a lot of the Laurens of the world, like probably weren't into, I mean, here's the thing. What I want all the youths of America to know is that the things that aren't cool in middle and high school are the things that will make you stand out as an adult. Like that's a universal rule. And theater kids, I think, aren't always as beloved as they should be based on talent. And I think that's probably why the tropes exist of them like crying at cast parties. You know, something has changed within me. Like
I've been changed for good.
Yeah, because I think that it probably is a really meaningful experience to have a sense of belonging in a production.
Yeah. I mean, for those of us who didn't play sports, like that's your team, is your cast, you know? And you only get to rehearse together for like 3 months and then it's over. And you have all these like inside jokes and you all go to the same school, but it's like never the same after that. I had my first kiss at a cast party of The Wiz, actually.
I can't. I don't know if I'll ever get over The Wiz.
I don't think anyone will.
It'd be one like but The Wiz is actually like slightly different than like even a Hamilton that was like America then that looks like America now. The Wiz has a very specific message of anti-blackness in America and it being a metaphor.
Yes, and none of us knew that. So the argument that the musical director gave me in 2018 when I tweeted about it was like, "We wanted to teach you." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't, because I had no idea. Like, we didn't know."
Well, that's a really good point to that rebuttal. You're like, okay.
Well, I didn't learn anything.
Yeah, I didn't learn anything. I think that it's kind of shitty that the licensing fees are so high that high schools are out here having to do Big River.
Well, yes. But then also you have the added rule. So where I grew up is 60 miles of Broadway, which also changes the rules. You can't put on a show that
your middle school Wiz was going to take ticket share away from.
So I have to tell you. But yeah, you couldn't do a show that was also playing on Broadway. Right. Imagine you think you got tickets to Broadway's Rent, but you're actually going to the John Jay High School production of Rent 60 miles north.
The 60 miles rule is something I did not. That's really interesting because
that's what I remember anyway. I'll have to fact check myself.
Part of me thinks that people on Broadway work the hardest. The hours are grueling, exhausting, like on their voice, their bodies. The pay is like not always great. And the tryouts are like cutthroat. And it's fascinating to me when there are industries where there's this like elite selection process where so few people are eligible, but then they don't like pay as if you're one in a million. But I think that drive comes from people inside the 60 miles, but also outside the 60 miles. Broadway's so interesting because it's so inaccessible. I would have to listen to cast albums and like put together the pieces. Like most of them aren't just music. They have dialogue too. And it's like, I just have to get there and I just have to see it. And then every play I'm a huge fan of, most of them I like haven't seen. And I kind of wonder if the people that pursue Broadway, like it's even more of an enigma because the inaccessibility is what makes it so alluring. And to this day, I have never seen Wicked.
I can't believe you haven't seen Wicked. I only saw it once. Like I said, like I went straight from Rent to Spring Awakening to Titanic. Like every 10 years, a show comes along for me. But I only saw Wicked once. I can't believe you haven't seen it at all. But I listened to the soundtrack like nonstop.
Rent is one of those things that I listen to the soundtrack a lot and I literally thought like Light My Candle was like about a Bath and Body Works candle. Like I wasn't picking up on the themes.
No, my parents brought me for my 12th birthday, and like both of them were like, "We've made a grave error."
They say
And then
that I have the best ass below 14th
and then
Street.
I sang "Take Me or Leave Me" for my audition for The Wiz. Everything really. My parents were like, interesting song choice. Talk about being a thespian. I truly was like, we all were like unhinged levels of Rent fanatics, but like there's that, Contact is like the orgy song. And like after the show, my parents were like, do you have any questions? And I was like, no. And even if I did, I wouldn't ask that. I wouldn't ask you. So no. But I remember, Light My Candle was about like crack.
Drugs, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the candy wrapper. I was like, I love candy too. And I love scented candles.
Candy wrapper. Well, the whole joke about Rent is that there's like this long-standing myth that like when Rent opened up to be able to be done at high schools and colleges, they changed it to be about not AIDS. So it's like
really?
Oh yeah, because it's like, well, is this appropriate or whatever? But it's like, well, then don't do Rent because that's what the show is about. But the lore is that some school changed it to be about diabetes. And so it was like,
what? I'm literally hiding my face. I don't
full cringe. Full cringe.
Is that real, Caroline?
So no one has ever, I don't know that anyone has ever seen it, but it's one of those theater kid lores where it's like, oh, a friend of mine knows a friend whose school did that when they did Rent, was they changed it to diabetes. I've heard it from other people, and I'm sure I've told the story myself as if I was there in the room. But like,
it's like a 60 Miles urban legend.
Yeah, right. It's like Rent is, it's funny because it's like everyone loves the kids love the music. So you can see that like a high school might want to do Rent to like engage its students in like wanting to be part of the production. But then like, what are you going to do? It's about a sex worker. It's about
right. The Cat Scratch Club.
The Cat Scratch. It's about a drag queen. They all have AIDS. Half of them die by the end of the show.
Right.
Like, what are you going to do with the story? And it turns out it's just not like. But before we would go on stage for all of these productions, we like the whole cast would like sing La Vie Boheme, and it was a very like it was cool to know all those lyrics, and cool is relative here. But I was a real Rent head. And my parents took me, broke the seal. So between 1997 and like 2003, 2004, I saw Rent probably like 6 or 7 times.
That is so cool. I've never seen Rent either. I've only seen.
Really? You've seen the movie?
Bootleg videos, and I watched the movie.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. When I lived in New York, I don't know what I was up to. Maybe I guess I couldn't afford shows. I remember going to see Hair and seeing a man's penis.
Oh, I've never seen Hair. I like I said, I have so many musical theater blind spots. But it's funny that like when I started. Now that I'm an adult with my own money, what do I do with it? I've seen Titanic 8 times. And I'm taking my parents, like for the 9th time. I'm taking my parents in a couple weeks. They said, what do you want to do for your birthday? I said, I want you guys to go see Titanic, and I want to watch you watch it.
The talent's bonkers, and you really,
it's so fun.
You're so close.
Yeah. We had
to them singing. You're like within spit range, and the talent is so unreal.
It was so fun.
It was such a good show. I also didn't know until recently that off-Broadway doesn't imply it can't get on Broadway. It just has to do with audience size.
It has to do with audience size and production money. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think Titanic is one of those things that like once it hit a certain threshold of the mainstream, it would crush.
Definitely. Well, they're opening in Chicago now, so you're going to have to go back.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's coming to Chicago very soon, and it's going to London. And it is probably, I think, staying in New York too. Well, it started as a show that was really only supposed to be like a limited engagement, probably for like 3 months, and it just keeps going.
That's the best. And every time I hear a story of a musical, I'm like, what am I doing in life? Because you know how Lin-Manuel Miranda was famously on a vacation reading the Ron Chernow novel?
Yeah.
And then Stephen Schwartz was on vacation when he wrote Wicked.
We should be going on vacation more.
We should be going on vacation, and we need to be consuming more literature that is public domain.
Yeah. Did you ever try to read the Hamilton book?
No.
Okay, I did. And I was like, they don't rap in this. I was like, this is boring.
I know. Lin-Manuel being like, I was reading it, and I was like, this is a hip-hop story.
Wait, I totally forgot. I went from being a Rent head to a Spring Awakening head to a Hamilton head to a Titanic head. Hamilton does have an element of cringe that it didn't have, obviously, in the beginning. and now because it became so part of the zeitgeist.
I know.
Theater kids are like, but that's because theater kids also take great pride in being like, my favorite production, West End's in 1997 production of like The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Ever heard of it? And Hamilton got too big for like the real nerds, me included. But I did love it.
It absolutely did. And that's why I even asked you if you liked Wicked, because, and I don't mean this offensively, to me, you're just such an expert that I assumed Wicked was too commercial for you but there's levels, because if somebody said to me their favorite musical was The Lion King, I'd be like,
right.
Okay. And Nora, she guffawed at me recently out of nowhere when I said I was baptized Methodist, because she's like a prejudiced Catholic, apparently. Apparently, Nora's like a devout, loyal Catholic all of a sudden.
Close with God.
And I was like, Caroline's going to guffaw at me. And then I was like, well, no, I'd guffaw at The Lion King and probably a couple others. But The Lion King's the highest grossing musical of all time.
Well, so I wouldn't say that I'm an expert. I would say that I know like some things, and I feel like I can talk a big game. But then you're like, what do you think of Les Mis? And I'm like, I've never seen Les Mis. Oh. I know that it's like 3.5 hours long and it's about the French Revolution. And that kind of is two things I don't care about. If your show's 3.5 hours long, get an editor. I feel that. One of the reasons why I love Titanic so much is because it's 1.5 hours with no intermission. Leave me wanting more,
It's right and tight. Unlike the movie. That's the thing about that musical. It's really miserable.
Yeah.
And it's not like super fun to like experience. And if anybody wants a point of entry into Les Mis, I would actually suggest you watch Bravo's short-lived program. It's a Brad world. And his partner, Gary Janetti, hired a flash mob, very 2010.
2010, yeah.
To do One Day. Was it One Day More?
One Day More.
I will turn to
Yeah. One Day More.
Yeah. I'll send you the video. All like his whole family and friends, they all like parts, and they keep popping up.
I have seen that video.
It's so good.
Oh my God. Well, that's like Lin-Manuel Miranda's wedding video of like To Life.
L'Chaim, yes.
L'Chaim.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh my God. I had no idea that was Gary Janetti.
I feel like a lot of high schools do Fiddler. My high school did.
Love Fiddler. I love
Pippin.
Fiddler.
And Pippin's also Stephen Schwartz.
I love Pippin. Pippin is one of my favorite musicals. I actually have a very controversial favorite musical.
Okay.
Children of Eden. I love Children of Eden.
Really? I don't know anything about Children of Eden.
Children of Eden is literally the Bible. And it's my favorite musical.
Oh.
The music is so
that
good.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's literally just like the beginning of time. It's like Abel and Cain and, but the music is so good. I really like it.
I've never even heard a song from Children of Eden.
I will send you some. I love Pippin. Also, we were talking about Wicked, like Western Sky, and then Pippin's Got to Find My Corner of the Sky, and everyone's looking at the sky. Did you see Pippin when it was in New York in 2013?
No, I've only seen a Godwin High School production, but We've Got Magic to Do, and the aisles was electric.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She also did Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Good Joseph, you know to say.
Yeah. It was purple and ochre and red and yellow and blue and gold, lilac and green. I love Pippin. My brother was Pippin in his high school.
Oh yeah, tell the people your brother is or has been on Broadway.
Ben is a performer. He was in the national tour of Spring Awakening as Ernst, and now he is a composer and orchestrator. So he does a lot of, like, he's working on A Wrinkle in Time is coming to Broadway.
Oh.
He's working on the musical direction of that. He knows everybody also, so he gets called in to do a lot of projects.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he is a very successful working theater person.
I still think that you should pursue theater at this
point. I would
point.
love to. My therapist also wants me to. She's like, why not? Like, what, She's like, you have a flexible schedule. You could go on auditions. And I'm like, yeah, but then I'd have to get like a headshot. She wants me to do.
That's what's holding you back.
Everything's holding back. She's like,
I'll take your headshot.
Acting classes. I was like, I don't know. I'm not like against it. I think I'm so afraid of failing that But then I think about a Cinderella story, and it's like, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. That's important. And I want to peel back the wallpaper on my wall and see that quote written on paint. I don't know. I would love to do it. And like, That's one of those, pursuing musical theater feels one of those things where like fast forward through life, you realize life's not that serious. You're on your deathbed. Like, what do you regret? And that would be a big regret for me. So I guess I have to do it.
I don't throw away your headshot.
Don't throw away my headshot. You're so good at this. You have a true talent. Truly.
You're nice. But no, you have a true talent.
Headshot.
You guys don't understand Caroline's vocal chops. I think the thing that's hard for me is like, I think there's a lot of us out there, and this is who this episode's for. Not only the basics that don't really have refined taste in Broadway. Like I've never seen the classics, but I have seen Mamma Mia 5 times, which is a jukebox musical.
Again, Titanic is going on number 9. Yeah.
But the winner takes it all. I mean, banger. Oh, so important. Yeah. I just like in my bones feel like a theater kid who, I have absolutely no vocal, acting, or dance talent. And I think there's something that is really frustrating that feels like you want to combust when you want to do something, but you literally can't. Yeah. And that's why I'm always like, Caroline, you have to pursue your dreams.
Maybe I'll try it. I just hate not being the best at things, and that's just not a reason to not do something. But
I think it'd be really interesting content. Not that you would do it for the content, but like to try to break into an industry in your late 30s. Like it's never too late. Did you watch Martha?
I did watch Martha. I really did.
It's gonna happen.
Right. And I'm like, I don't have to wait till I'm 56 to have this revelation. And it's like, I live in New York. I only have me. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Like, it does kind of make sense. Like, my time is really my own right now. This would be a good thing to do. But it also feels like so silly. I actually called my brother to be like, if I wanted to do this, like, what would I do? And he was like, he told me he's like, you should be taking improv classes at UCB.
Oh, Caroline.
I know. That's what I said.
That is always people's answer, because I've wanted to do more like performance related stuff. And even for my live shows, people are like, you need to take improv. And I'm like, but then I'd have to literally shed myself of shame.
I know. And like that, I've literally, when I was Googling improv classes, I was like writing a reductress headline. I was like, mental breakdown, woman's Googling improv classes. What I want to do is like, what I'm going to have to do is suck it up, and I'm going to have to take an acting class with like a bunch of 19-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Wow, is this an outstanding segue? Do you desperately want to learn a new skill, but not exactly in a group setting? Like improv, perhaps? Allow me to introduce you to Masterclass. For a gift that's always on time and lasts a lifetime, you can't do better than Masterclass. I cannot believe the caliber of instructors they have to host these. I can speak for myself as a writer and a person in a creative career. I am endlessly trying to learn other people's processes and figure out what content verticals make sense. And I clicked on writing as a category, and I was like, oh, Margaret Atwood. Like, what? Judy Blume, Malcolm Gladwell, David Sedaris, Amanda Gorman, Aaron Sorkin. Can you teach me how to do a walk and talk? It's the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best. And with the gift of Masterclass, your loved ones can be their best and learn from the best. That's why Wirecutter calls it an invaluable gift. For example, I might have a friend, not going to name names, who could use some help overcoming their fears with improv. And they could be learning this from legend Amy Poehler, who's the instructor of the improv class. Craft a stand-up set with Judd Apatow. Turn passion into achievements with cultural icon Martha Stewart, that famously said in an interview this week she doesn't have imposter syndrome and really hasn't heard of it. I think we could stand to learn a thing or two from her. Think of a friend who has a celebrity or literary or creative idol of some kind, and think about arranging a brain-picking conversation where they can learn from one of their idols. I think it's such a unique gift. And with Masterclass, they can finally become a better whatever it is, a cook, writer, entrepreneur, artist, like they've always wanted. And that's the gift of Masterclass. This is also a really good gift for people in creative careers or who are in their own head and need to break out of it and learn from other people's processes. Or you know how hard it is to find a new hobby as an adult? It's kind of annoying to be an adult and be bad at stuff. So I'd rather just take a lesson from an expert in the privacy of my home and see if it's a fit and what a low stakes way to try something new. I'm such an island as a self-employed person. It's hard for me to find sources of ongoing learning, and I, for one, am thrilled. Happy holidays to me and you and yours with the gift of Masterclass. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/BeThereIn5 for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/BeThereIn5. Masterclass.com/be there in 5. This holiday season, switch your look up and slay any event with Pair Eyewear's customizable glass and holiday-themed top frames. Their merriest and most anticipated collection lets you light up any outfit with a jolly assortment of snowy scenes, classic plaids, and your favorite festive hues. Somewhere out there, Kelly Kennedy is listening and staring too close at a TV to ruin her eyesight so she can get a pair of glasses, because that sounds so up her alley. I know a lot of you are festive gals, and they always have the cutest holiday-themed glasses for you and yours, and Pair Eyewear offers infinite possibilities starting at just $60, including your prescription. Plus, you can take advantage of the biggest savings of the year during their site-wide holiday sale and save 20% at paireyewear.com. So the glasses you always see me wearing that are kind of bigger and fashiony style, people always ask me what they are. They are called the Murphy. I love them. Honestly, even if you don't have a prescription, you can still get them just blue light, or you can still get them without a prescription and just blue light, or get them with, a sun topper to have some versatility. But the Murphy's my current favorite. Also love the Kirby and the Reese personally, but they have so many lenses. You can do a virtual try on. You select your lens type, single vision, progressive, so on and so forth. They fill your prescription, and you can pick any enhancements like blue light filtering. And then you find go-to top frames, and so you can switch up your everyday style, and you just magnetically snap on bold patterns, classic colors, sun tops. That's my favorite part about it, is one pair of prescription, just regular eyeglasses, and you pop on a sun top, and then you have prescription sunglasses and one pair of glasses without having to travel with two. They have such cute plaids right now and really beautiful foresty colors. But if you want to go holiday subtly, they have a poinsettia stained glass limited edition Christmas one. If you want to fully commit, they've got full-on candy cane stripes. They have for him, her, kids. These are so fun for kids. I think who wear glasses, as a person that got glasses in elementary school, this would have been life-changing. I had to pick one pair and wear them for eternity. And I think this would just be a really appreciated form of self-expression if I were a kid trying to get used to glasses. But it's also a very cost-effective and fun way to change up your style as an adult. And it's just so affordable. There's really not a ton of risk. I mean, starting at $60 for prescription eyeglasses. So if you want to get matching pairs for the little ones, stuff a stocking, or gift a pair to yourself during Pair's site-wide holiday sale, go to paireyewear.com and shop the holiday sale to save 20% off site-wide, and support the show by mentioning that Be There in 5 sent you in your post-checkout survey. That's Pair, eyewear.com. You know what I like is, I don't know if you have been paying attention to this, but Charlie D'Amelio, most followed person on TikTok in the world,
Juliet.
But I like that she's in the ensemble.
Well, no, now she's the lead.
Oh, fuck. Really?
I know. Yeah, my mom just saw her last weekend. She
No,
thought
she's
great.
not. She's in the ensemble.
No, I think she's the lead.
No, she's not. She's one of the dancers in the background.
Really?
Yeah, which I really thought was cool and important. Cool of her to take, important for them to give and set a precedent. She's a really talented dancer, but she's green.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Give her an ensemble position and let her work her way up. Because
Maddie Ziegler in West Side Story, the movie.
Yes,
same thing.
The way I would be, the true Broadway talents that have been working their way through the system for years, it would be so offensive if influencers besides Chicago were infiltrating the space. Have you seen Romeo and Juliet with Rachel Ziegler?
No.
She's really talented, but there's no music in that.
Yeah, no. A straight play. When I got back, I was like, I'm gonna get cheap seats to everything and just go see as much as I can. And then usually I'll remember 2 hours into a play with no music, I'm contemplating killing myself. But I have seen, Oh Mary is different. I saw Oh Mary.
There's no music?
No. Well, there's light music, but it's not a musical.
Okay, I know nothing about, I know the premise, but and I love Cole, but I thought it was a musical actually until this very moment.
No, it's a play.
Oh, that bums me out a little.
No, it won't. It's really funny. It's the exception. But
it's like Mary Todd Lincoln killing time because Lincoln's kind of gay.
It's Mary Todd Lincoln is a former cabaret star who ends up married to a sitting U.S. president. Okay. And that's all I'll tell you. And yes, he is kind of gay, but that is all I'll tell you. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of I saw Ragtime a couple weeks ago. Ragtime is a musical I didn't know, and I got invited to go because there is somebody who follows the G Thanks account who does their PR.
Yeah.
And was like, do you want to come? And I was like, 100%. All I want in this life is to do sponsorships for theaters. Send me to see shows. And Ragtime has all the makings of a show I would hate, and I'm obsessed with it. It was so good.
Really?
And it had all the makings of everything I would hate because it's 3 hours long and it's it's what's the word for it? Like it's Americana. You know what I mean? I don't usually love that, but I loved it. It was so good. It was one of the City Center's encore performances, which is when they do these like quick productions. They like get a really big like all-star cast. Into the Woods was one of them. Sarah Bareilles and Gavin Creel did it. And then
Kelsey Grammer, Kajal Fall. What is that?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Kelsey, it's your night. Oh, Camille. Oh, Camille. He said, no, you're not Mrs. Grammer. Do you remember that scene?
The limo scene is one of the darkest moments on television.
One of the darkest moments on television.
And Alison Dubois, 15 years later, proved herself to be the best clairvoyant in the business.
I know how you're going to die.
I never thought Mauricio
would
an emotionally fulfiller. We should write a Housewives musical.
There should be wait, don't put this in there because
let's call it not the place, not the time. Not the time, not the. What do they always say? Okay, every time we record, we talk about doing something and you say, you can't put that in. And we never do shit. And I'm leaving that in.
Okay, I do want to write. We should write a Housewives musical a la Titanic, though.
Well, didn't you want, when you were talking about the diabetes form of Rent, I was like, well, you could kind of co-opt that for the Babysitters Club musical you want to write.
I do want to write a Babysitters Club musical.
For Stacey's story. Yeah.
Stacey's story. It would be about, right, exactly.
Relations with a minor with Luca.
13. 13. But there's one life lesson that I learned from a super special of Babysitters Club, The Big Storm. And I will carry it with me forever, which is Stacey and her mom go to the mall and they don't have any food in the car and they get stranded. And now I always keep food in my car.
No, like
granola bars.
It's wild how
all the way
they
down.
think the messages you're going to pick up on are the bigger ones of like friendship,
race,
integrity, race. Yeah.
I always love Mallory and Jesse are best friends. The only difference is that Jesse's black.
The only difference is they got no airtime.
Yeah, the only difference is that they're literally 11 and no one should be leaving their children home with them.
There is nothing more 90s than trying to make a cast diverse with a redhead.
An 11-year-old redhead. Ageism.
Felicity.
Truly. I loved Babysitter's Club, though. Did you ever watch the like TV show Babysitter's Club?
Say hello to your friends.
It's on Prime.
Club. No,
it's available to watch
with Larissa Olenek as Dawn.
No, that's
the
movie.
You're
singing the right song, but that's the movie. This was like Nobody's. Yeah. When I'm feeling down and out, if I'm feeling blue, I know I can lean on you. My friends will see me through.
Oh my gosh.
We'll be sharing wonderful times every day. And then we're like, could start any Babysitter's Club, but you didn't have to read them episodically. So chapter 2 of every Babysitter's Club was always the same. They'd explain who everyone was. And Claudia was like, amazing skin, loves candy, almond-shaped eyes. And I was like,
and
all
good
right.
Clothes.
Great clothes. So fun. Artiste. Christy, softball. Marianne, crying. Stacey, diabetes.
Marianne,
Dawn,
narc. Christy,
Dawn, granola.
Yeah. Half that group I would have never not interested.
Stacey,
Stacey was everything. Dawn was too granola, but she was so like pretty, and she wore globe earrings like Clarissa Explains It All, and that felt like kind of cool and it alternative.
Clarissa Explains It All is also available to watch in full on Paramount Plus.
Clarissa Explains It All. She was kind of an early adopter of the internet. I mean, she wasn't on the internet, but she had a computer and a pet alligator.
Yeah, she was always like coding games. It's like, in this game, Ferguson's on fire, and I'm not going to save him. And I was like, damn, I want to make a game.
Literally, she would murder Ferguson in cold blood. Like, I get sibling rivalries.
Yeah.
But she fucking hated
There was always also, too, what I remember the most about Clarissa was that their mom was obsessed with tofu. And it like grossed tofu out. It was the same with Doug, the cartoon Doug.
Of course, yeah.
They were obsessed with liver and onions. Like there were a lot of food.
The sizzle marks.
The sizzle marks, like, oh, liver and onions.
Ooh,
yeah, killer tofu. I sang that to someone the other day, and they gave me the blankest look, and I was like, "How old are you?" And they were like, 32, and I was like, "Okay, never mind."
Is Doug like specific to our
I think we're like the youngest people to watch it.
Was Killer Tofu was sung by the Beets?
Yeah. And so was I Need More Allowance, Yodelay. Why? Because I do.
Do you remember when Roger got like stuck at a swamp and there was something about a nematode?
Yeah, that's the first ever episode of Doug.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it was Doug bags a nematode. He's new at school, and they the episode I remember the most about Doug, and I don't have a historically good memory about Doug, but when I had COVID in last winter, I wanted to watch something comforting, and I found Doug on Paramount Plus and just went to town. That episode where he sings about Patty Mayonnaise and he makes
Patty's
like,
the pickle and the
yeah,
coleslaw.
yeah. And Patty, you're the mayonnaise for me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, fuck, I love this song. That was one of the things too, Kate. And I bet you and I are the same, like, species of this person. Is like, I would have looked for that on Kazaa and downloaded it and like put it on a mix CD.
Absolutely.
So it'd be like Counting Crows, Mr. Jones, followed by like Patty or the Pickle.
That's what was awesome about Kazaa and like LimeWire and BearShare is that you could get it. It wasn't. It was just stuff ripped from anything.
Yes.
So you could. One of my favorite like categories of pop culture is fictional TV bands. Your Zack Attacks, your Hep Aliens.
Oh yeah, you're the Wonders.
The Wonders, yes. And I feel like that the Beets, well, Doug saying Patty, you the pickle and my coleslaw, for what reason? That was more of a country twang.
Yeah, they were doing this thing where you could make a video, you could like go to the store and like make your own music video, and his got swapped with like Mr. Bones. And his video,
everyone listening is like, obviously he got it swapped for Mr. Bones.
Yeah, he got it swapped for Mr. Bones. My favorite, do you have a song that ended up on that you downloaded from Kazaa that was like, you downloaded it for the song, but it was like the movie version. So there's like, because mine was, remember Secret Garden from Jerry Maguire? It was like, I love you. Yeah. But you hear her going, I love him, Laurel. I love him. And I only listened to the version of Secret Garden with like the like, do, 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 do.
What is that called when it's like the interpolation of
like an
the screenplay in a song? And was it only The Secret Garden? Because that's when you said that, I knew exactly what you meant, but I can't think of a single other
song where that happened,
except for like it's kind of similar to the Jewel 9/11 thing we talked about before.
Yeah,
where it's like it's a mashup of something talking to and a song, and it's a version that like almost is more popular than the regular thing.
I need you. Yeah. I love him, Laurel. I love him. And I
love him for the man he almost
is and for the man he's going to be. I love him. That's so real. That's so real. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what other one I bet you love?
What?
Remember Gwyneth Paltrow? Baby, let's cruise.
No.
Oh, my God. I love it when we're cruising together.
In Glee?
Well, no, but
bet you're going my way.
It's a Smokey Robinson song, which I, of course, didn't know. The cover is Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow from the 2000 road trip film Duets.
I don't know this. This is before she was Goop Gwyneth. This was like Shakespeare in Love Gwyneth. This was
before
Ballet
9/11.
Pink. Yeah,
and what did we find out the other day was before 9/11? Princess Diaries.
Well, oh, wait, was that 1999, 2000?
No, it was August 2001.
You were watching Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, no?
I watched her Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, but I went back and watched the last scene of Princess Diaries where miracles happen and they do the robot. And because it makes me, honestly, I get emotional every time I see that scene. You show me things brought to life. And Joe and Julie Andrews walk off and like,
oh, hell yeah. My first tour, that was my walk-off song.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
It was hard to find. It's not like on Spotify. Like it's I think, did Myra sing it? It's some not obscure Disney Channel only artist.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. But also that the craziest line of that movie is when Anne
I know exactly
and Lily are walking and she talks about her dad dying and Lily's like, I thought I got over that.
It's been 2 months.
It's been 2 months. It's like, Lily sucks.
Lily sucks. But truly, she was like, she was like, you never even met him. And it's like, okay, who needs to meet their dad?
The older you get, the more existential that becomes and the less over it you're going to be. Lily, why don't you
Lily,
shut up and listen?
Yeah, shut up and listen. Jeremiah was hot.
So hot.
So hot. Jeremiah was the hottest man. Forget whatever Von Detten. Jeremiah was Eric Von Detten. Forget him. He's in one of my favorite Christmas movies, by the way, that I still watch every year.
Christmas Every Day?
Christmas Every Day.
Are we
Why do you know? Yes, we had the same wedding song, Kate. Just because my marriage didn't last.
No, it's real. Like,
it is funny. That's because I'm divorced now.
Weird.
But we did have the same wedding song. And it's like the exact same flavor of irony of that being our wedding song.
Yeah. That it's kind of like the most hyper-specific curation of things where we even like will skim the surface of the same stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really know a ton about.
Yeah. But we're like just the same exact level of engaged.
And we have the same, getting on topic relevant to this week, we have the same favorite singer of Defying Gravity.
Yes.
Or the same favorite Elphie.
Elphie. Which is 3, 2, 1. Let's both say it. 3, 2, 1.
Jessica Vosk. Oh,
she's
my
the
God.
Best Elphaba.
So I'm gonna cut into this and play the audio of what in the fandom we call the gay gasp, which is, I believe, Jessica Vosk's last performance of Defying Gravity, where she explores some light variability in the way it's sung. And with Broadway, it might sound like when people are belting, they are improvising, but they are absolutely not. If you want a riff, they're going to be pre-approved.
Yes.
And if you want a riff, you're going to have options from a few versions. But one of my favorite parts of Wicked lore is final performances. Oftentimes, Elphabas will take small, inconsequential risks that they're technically not supposed to and like really go for it in the last few notes. And it's like the most fun thing ever for fans if you can find a bootleg version. And it's called the gay gasp. I think that's just a term that I literally have heard over the years on like YouTube and Reddit, because I think it's just kind of like an inside joke, I feel like, amongst the Wicked fandom, where Jessica Vosk does like the smallest variation on the word defying. And the guy who's filming must know this musical and this song so well that like he hears the small alteration in the word defying and he's like, oh my God. And then you can see in the video, there's a grown man in front of him wiping away tears, and just like relatable. This is why I'm going to see Wicked alone by choice. I can't really explain why Defying Gravity is so emotional. Actually, can I share my screen?
Please.
She's Jessica Vosk. She's super consistent. I don't feel stressed listening to her sing those notes because she doesn't like really crack or strain or scream. Like it just sounds really balanced. I don't know anything about singing, but there's like one of my favorite videos. And then since Wicked's been in the zeitgeist lately, I keep seeing people say on TikTok that she is one of the only Elphabas without sustained vocal damage.
Well, Lindsay Mendez was just in Merrily We Roll Along, so she can't have that much vocal damage.
So you guys can't see, but I'm presenting Carolina's slide deck. The people she's in agreement with that I really like are Jessica Voss, Eden Espinosa, Stephanie Block. I also really like Alice Fern and Lindsay Mendez. That's why Caroline said that earlier. I don't hear people bring her up a lot, but and I don't know if this is true, she has like a slightly lower register. And I just feel like she was in control. Like she commands the song well, and I like listening to her version. I also like her. And this is Kate from the Beyond, by the way. I'm filling in holes of where we're like looking at a PowerPoint you can't see because this is an audio format. If it seems like I'm talking for a while and not asking my guest a question like a horrible hostess, it's because I'm explaining to something that like I defaulted to during this conversation because it was visual. You know what I mean? And there's other things I wanted to talk about. So just peppering in other context and commentary as we go. You probably wouldn't even notice. But anyway, you guys, I actually love the texture and like emotional nuance and different ways people sing this incredibly complicated song that apparently was like not very responsibly written for vocal health. You just know that person's like they're in a harness, belting their heart out, singing a really difficult song night after night, sometimes twice a day. It is such as Elphaba. I've always want Broadway singers to get their due. It's such a physically demanding job. The 8 shows per week, oftentimes 2 shows with the matinee on Saturday and Sunday, like no recovery time. It's year round. And then, yeah, like we talked about the vocal strain of like the range requirements, the sustained belting and like switching between singing and speaking, along with like the physical demands or like stunts of the role, like the way you have to project. Like I always am fascinated watching Jonathan Groff sing. He's like notorious for how much he spits. Oh yeah, there's a really funny Vanity Fair lie detector test thing with him. And Lindsay Mendez and Daniel Radcliffe when they were promoting Merrily But We Go Along. It's like a comfort YouTube video for me where he talks about how much he spits, and it's funny. Obviously, being a singer, period, you're working late because you're a singer. But it's a little bit different than like a pop star who has like has control and agency over the way they might improvise or perform something. You have to hit the same notes and meet technical requirements that you can't modify like pop singers. When you think about like being in character and acting while singing, while projecting, while probably wearing a costume or crazy makeup, while factoring in like the, orchestral timing and all of interacting with the cast and the blocking and the props. Like I couldn't literally never when I perform LOL. Like my live shows are basically like one woman shows where I just talk on stage. Sometimes I forget to walk around. I can't metaphorically tap my nose and rub my belly, especially not in front of a crowd. Also, it's pat your head and rub your belly. I can't even remember what to do. I just don't always think that people think of theater as like athletic as it is and as demanding as it is. And then when you think about how much athletes get paid, I get really mad because the talent's just unfucking believable. And it's pretty unbelievable to me that they aren't paid like Hollywood level, but I understand that that's more of a function of market and revenue generation potential. When you only have a finite number of seats, it's not quite the same. I was moving to my slide Wicked Pitch of the West.
Oh, let's see.
The role of Elphaba is considered one of musical theater's most vocally demanding female roles, partly because of the song and the sustained vocal damage of the performers following their run. But because of the extreme range requirements, the sustained high energy singing, the technical challenges, it's one of the hardest roles to play. Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba in the movie, said that I'm Still Here from Color Purple is way harder. And it's really, I think it's a Vanity Fair interview. It's a really interesting. It's technically and emotionally harder because it's telling like such a story and it builds. And I think it's just you on stage and it's very quiet. And Elphaba kind of has a production value that kind of carries also the performance that I think is motivational.
And you're like up in the air.
Right. It's me.
Yeah. It's me. Right. Yes.
I was telling Caroline via text earlier that I feel like Defying Gravity is kind of a lot of people's point of entry for theater. And it came out in 2003. And it was a time when I think motivational anthems were really important. I kind of compared it to like a Since You've Been Gone or Before He Cheats, but just like one of those songs that if you're walking around campus or looking out a rainy bus window, you're like, I'm going to make it. It's going to be fine. He's going to curse the day.
The rest is still unwritten.
The rest is still unwritten.
It's Suddenly I See.
Yes, her face is...
Yeah. Her face is a map of the world. They say she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl. And it's like everything around me is a silver pool of light.
It is. And I think Defying Gravity is a really important millennial main character song that
totally
deserves its walking through. And I just think this is interesting lore that in case any, and I have the videos too, but like I don't really know what the data is on vocal strain. Like, because Idina Menzel talked about how she developed nodules during her run and had to adjust her performance techniques. Stephanie Block talked about having to modify certain notes over time and like her strict vocal rest routine. I've also heard that like the role is hard because the harness, you're flying and you're having to maintain like such control and focus while acting, while like up in the air. Beyond that, Elphie's costume this second act is like 40 pounds. And beyond that, I've heard that there are like allergies and breathing issues because of the green makeup. And they don't like release what their formula is, but apparently it's, yeah. Whew. Also, did you know, also this is so sad. Idina Menzel, like a trapdoor opened too quickly. The scene where she melts, again, haven't seen it. But I've seen this scene in bootleg versions. God, shout out to the bootleggers of the world. I know it's illegal, but God love you. It's just such a gate-kept universe. But she fell through a trapdoor, broke her ribs, her last performance of Wicked. Like, how sad is that? Her last performance. She broke her ribs, had to go to the hospital, but like made it back, I think, for curtain call. And she was in this like red tracksuit, still with green makeup. And like came out and bowed, I think. But what an unfortunate series of events.
Well, because if you've ever heard Idina at the end of her run, there's a lot of videos that are like Idina's like first Defying Gravity versus last. And it's dark. It's dark. It's dark and sad and scary.
And I went on a TikTok deep dive, and again, can't carry a tune, but I'm like, Idina, use your mixed voice.
Yes, Kate, you can be a vocal coach.
Because she is very throaty.
Yeah, she's throaty. And she has a very distinct voice, and she's creating this role that like hundreds of women are now going to have to like emulate. So she's doing her own thing.
Yes. And I think that, like, I also don't want to deny that Idina isn't a talent for the ages, and she's the original. And I think that the originals almost always get the universal credit. So I'm going to, steer outside of that. What I also like about Idina is some people have sharper features that work for witches.
Yeah. Some people are born witches.
Yeah. Do you think you're more of an Elphie or
Elphaba.
Galinda?
Yeah. I'm an Elphaba.
I hate that I look like more of a Galinda, but
I think you're more of an Elphaba as well.
Yeah, my personality is. I actually, when I tell you Galinda, I get confused which I should call her.
I think it's Galinda, but it's spelled Glinda.
Yeah, it's Galinda at Shiz. I don't know what the vibe is.
I mean, I love Kristen Chenoweth, but like, it's not an exciting role to me. And if they offered it to me, I'd say no thanks.
I bet.
Just putting that out there for the Telsey casting directors listening.
Well, the role was like like when she was cast, they workshopped it. They modified the role based on her personality. Like that's why she's such a good one, is because it is her. She is it.
Yeah, I mean, she is it. Like, and also that was also like her first breakout role. She had done Charlie Brown before, but like,
right.
I always wonder though. I'm like, is that what Kristen Chenoweth like always sounds like, or is she doing that voice? Because I guess I do wonder that about people. And I think that I didn't realize this before YouTube came along, and I like watched. I used to get really into, and this is probably why I like Titanic so much. I used to really get into people doing like really, really good vocal impressions of like very famous people with very famous voices. So like a lot of people doing Celine Dion's or whatever.
Yep.
But Kristen Chenoweth, like, do you really sound like that, or did you make a choice to be like, this is my voice and I'm on Broadway? You know what I mean? Like, I could do that too, but are she committing to the bit? Is this a lifelong bit? Or is she like, oh yeah, no, I know how to sing happy birthday to you. Like, you know what I mean?
What does she do after Wicked?
Let's see. Hold on. She always plays like the kooky sister in like movies. Like she was in 4 Christmases. She was in The Holiday, I think. I'm looking at Kristen Chenoweth. But like, oh, hello. And she's also 4'11". She's a tiny little pocket.
Tiny.
So
but looking at the press photos of Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and Idina Menzel is wild, because Idina Menzel's Adele Dazeem is 5'4", and she looks like a gargantuan.
Massive. Yeah.
And Ari and Cynthia are both 5 foot, and they're very emotional on this tour. I like the emotional availability, but a lot of people think that they must have killed someone on set.
You think?
No, I don't think they did. But I believe that it was an intense experience. I think their press tour is the cast party of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think that they're really proud of it. And I think that building out a set and not doing green screen and doing stunts while singing live for every take is probably a really intense experience. Did you find what Kristen Chenoweth did?
She did. She went right to Glee. She stayed on Wicked for a while and then she went right to Glee because she had a lot of singles with Glee. Like, she became such a character actor that, like, she wasn't going to do anything else in the background. They were just going to now make roles for her.
I guess Adina after Wicked didn't either because she was she was Rachel Berry's mom.
Yeah.
And then she was in Enchanted and very important.
Yeah. And she divorced Taye Diggs.
Yeah. And then she became Adele Dazeem and the rest is history.
That's right. I mean, right. And Frozen. Frozen.
Oh, Frozen.
That was it. She went right to Frozen. You should watch. There is a great Rent documentary you should watch. But part of it is showing Adina getting her first red carpet interview. And she was a bar mitzvah singer before she got cast in Rent. You know,
before Rent. So
Rent was her breakout.
Rent was her breakout, and Taye Diggs was in Rent. It's so crazy how hard it is to make it in Broadway, period, the end, even in the ensemble, much less the lead. And then you get a new show, and you
nothing is
know if the new show is going to be well received. And Wicked got absolutely hammered by Broadway critics.
Did it?
When it first came out, yeah. It was not critically acclaimed, but it was highly commercially viable. And it famously got pop quiz, who beat Wicked for Best Musical of the Year in 2004 Tonys?
Hairspray?
Avenue Q.
Oh, shit.
I've never seen it, but I remember my husband saying he liked it. They're
like Avenue Q.
Puppets.
Yeah, they're like, everyone's gay and I'm a puppet.
Yeah, you're not popular.
Yeah.
I feel like, we both hate that song, right?
Yeah, I hate Popular.
Oh, the boys. It's not something about it. It hurts my ears. It's not something I would ever listen to for fun. It's just it's a functional storytelling song for me.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. Now I'm just like musical style. It doesn't really, Defying Gravity and Let It Go are so iconic and she sings them both, you know? Do you follow the current Elphaba on Broadway on Instagram?
Mary-Kate Morrissey?
Yeah.
I love her vocal health.
It's very intense.
I think that is brilliant of her to be sharing. I love those insider tips. And she'll show how, like, she wakes up, she steams her voice.
Yeah.
She has a lozenge, she has tea. She goes to work out. Around noon, she starts to go, I actually can't do my lips. Like that sort of thing. She sees if she's hitting her notes. If they're shaky, she like emails her director and is like, okay, my F whatever is not quite where I want it to be. And then she like goes on the subway and sees some friends and she'll steam on the subway. Like she has like a steamer for her voice. And she does like all of this shit. And then like by 4 or 5 p.m., she decides if she can do the show based on where her voice is. And she has like stuff to clear out the mucus in her nose, her throat. She steams and she uses a nebulizer. And her entire routine is around vocal health. And I think that's so interesting because what I wonder is that new and what Elphabas weren't doing in the past? Or did I just never know that was a thing? Because
I don't think it's new. I think the vocal like attention to your throat is so important. And theater kids will remember there was always someone in the play who got nodes and they'd be like, I'm on vocal rest.
So chic.
No, getting nodes is like the layman's equivalent to wearing an ace bandage to school. I don't want to. I took you off on a tangent. I want to see what your next slide is.
This is literally not that important. It was just some like baseline stuff in case people are interested. It was the quiz.
I'm interested.
Which shows have generated the most box office revenue all time on Broadway? Number 1 we talked about was The Lion King. Do you know what number 2 is?
Cats?
No, it is actually Hamilton.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
I think that this list is really interesting. Oh no, it's Wicked.
Oh wow,
Lion King.
Wow, Cats is even on there.
8 billion.
Yeah.
Wicked, 1.4. Phantom, 1.3. I find Phantom to be criminally boring.
I liked it when I saw it. And you know what I always say about Phantom, famously, is that there is such a difference.
I'm always saying this.
I'm always saying this. One of the reasons I loved seeing Ragtime was I saw it on the opening night. There is a such a different energy about watching a cast who is still excited about performing their show. It's the same with Hamilton in the beginning, any show in the beginning. By the time you go to see Phantom, and it's 2016, and Phantom's been on Broadway since 1986, and half of these people have been in the cast since 2004, and they're like, this is a great industry gig, like, the union is working out, I love having my SAG card, I love having insurance, but I am basically an auto fucking pilot, you know, and you can just, that energy washes over you in the audience.
But you couldn't phone in like music of the night if you tried. Like, the notes, the whistle notes hit in that musical, or they're like, I think, well, because it's opera, some of it's opera. It's just, it's not ever going to be like, that's why I think it's shockingly mainstream. Because I remember my parents, they got like a pass to the Richmond, Virginia traveling theater and started taking us to musicals, which I really appreciate. And I remember Phantom, and I remember a few that I was like, theater sucks. And then I saw Mamma Mia and everything changed.
Yeah,
totally. Lay All Your Love on Me. Phantom, it's like not a soundtrack I listen to in the car. It's haunting and beautiful.
Sometimes I do listen to Masquerade when it comes.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Chicago, I guess I get, but like that is just not one I'm picking.
No, yeah, I'm not picking Chicago. I mean, yeah, and then the problem with Broadway is that they have made it so prohibitively expensive that you can't just go and have like a fun night at the theater. Like, these shows are made for tourists in a lot of ways, like the tourist economy. And shows that are like niche and then are like expected to sell out, you know, it doesn't. I've seen tons of like really mediocre shows that I think if I had paid $40 for the ticket, I'd be like, that was fun. I liked a couple of songs and like I enjoyed this. But when you walk out of every show being like, I just spent $330 to see this, like, I'm going to have higher expectations and I'm not going to be able to manage them.
I wouldn't go see Bye Bye Birdie for more than $60.
I love Bye Bye Birdie. I loved the Guys and Dolls production I saw in London. It was very good.
I have a cultural roadblock of, like, if a movie was made before 1980, I hate it.
Okay.
That's why when you have like Audrey Hepburn posters, Marilyn Monroe,
I
can't relate
I'm the
to
same.
you.
I still had the posters, but I
old-timey.
never watched the movies.
Yeah.
I've never seen Breakfast at Tiffany's in full.
Oh God, no. But I bought the canvas at IKEA.
Obviously. Makes sense. As one does.
So I think that, well, I like some of the My Fair Lady songs, but you know, well, actually, what do you think of Rain on My Parade? Funny Girl. What do you think of Funny Girl?
I like Funny Girl.
People say that it's like objectively bad.
Yeah.
But I don't hate Funny Girl at all.
It's camp and it's cult. It has a, you know, cult follow. People love it. But also Funny Girl is Barbara Streisand. Like, I know. And it's the same way that Wicked is Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. I don't even remember when I don't know if I saw them in Wicked when I saw it. I saw it early. But I only saw it once and I don't remember like who was in it. But I like Funny Girl a lot. I think we have swung the pendulum too far. Now everything is like too Hamilton-y to me.
Suffs.
I can't do suffs.
And I think that people, it's one of those things that you maybe feel bad to say you don't love it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a horrible woman to say it. Suffs feels like it would have killed in 2017. It does not feel appropriate for 2024.
Really?
It just is like we couldn't elect Kamala. Like, we are moving backwards every day. I don't want to watch this musical.
Right. It's not like, look how much progress you make.
I mean, it's the same kind of cringe I get, like, with Hamilton. Like, I don't think audiences do this anymore, but in the beginning, for sure, it was like, immigrants, we get the job done. And everyone's like, fuck yeah. Yeah. And it's like, that's embarrassing to me. Like, and it's all white people doing that. It's like, stop it. Stop it. What are you, me and the Wiz? Like, get out of here. Like, immigrants, we get the job done. Or it's like, include women in the sequel. Work. And I'm like, I don't like that anymore. I don't want to hear it. We need to talk less and
everything is legal in New Jersey.
I don't mind everything is legal in New Jersey because I think most people don't get it.
I was moving to my slide. When it comes to riffs, you're not unlimited. There are strict requirements for riffing because in long-running shows where maintaining the original sound is important for branding and quality control. Broadway performers actually get fined for unauthorized riffing, which I think is nuts.
That's why in everyone's last show, a lot of times people want to show up for the last show because they will go crazy. They will plan, and they're allowed to on their last show, I think, because it's kind of become tradition, is like the Elphabas will like go rogue.
Well, who is the understudy that went so rogue?
I'm remembering this. I don't remember who it was, but you are scratching my brain. Like I'm remembering, and it was like a big fucking thing.
It's such a satisfying watch. The reason they do this is like orchestral synchronization, your vocal health, but also the show's musical integrity. Because, like, for example, I'm very attached to one specific riff of Defying Gravity.
Yes,
I've waited my entire life to see this fucking musical.
Yes,
and I've listened to the cast album for years. Adina is not my favorite Elphaba, but she actually has my favorite battle cry, which is what they in the script. The battle cry is the like the thing at the end. Yeah, you can do it. And for Defying Gravity, 3 versions you're allowed to do, and on very rare occasion somebody will riff in the moment, and usually they'll get in trouble or fined, but there's like a very rare occasion where it's actually accepted as like canon, and you can choose from that going forward.
Wow.
I think, what's her name? Shoshana Bean.
Shoshana Bean, yeah.
She created one of them. Anyway, so we'll go through that. Wizard and I has 2 or 3 approved variations.
Yes.
So, and you can do personalized touches with When I Meet the Wizard. And No Good Deed, Fiero, you can do 2 to 4 alternate risks. It has the most flexibility.
Yep.
And No Good Deed is one if you're new to Wicked, you're not going to hear because it's in Act 2.
It's going to be in the second movie.
But you actually can't improvise it. It has to be improved by the musical director within a certain key structure, and it has to be consistent show to show. Do you mind if I place examples?
Want you to.
Did you know in Act 2, Elphaba's attire weighs like 40 pounds? And you know what that is? The opposite of Cozy Earth. Their apparel, their sheets, light, breathable, temperature regulating. What a dream. Cozy Earth allows you to transform your space into an elevated haven. So where serenity and renewal intertwine effortlessly. It's like going to a fancy hotel. It's like giving yourself amenities in your everyday home. That's how I feel when I sleep on their bamboo sheets that are like temperature regulating, made from viscose from bamboo. And they're just like light and breathable, but like soft as hell, and they get better with each wash, and you sleep several degrees cooler, which is huge for me. And a silent night starts with the right sheets, and Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set is the ultimate gift this holiday season, elevating everyday luxury. And it's a gift of unparalleled comfort, making every night feel like a serene escape. And my newest Cozy Earth venture is something called the Cuddle Blanket, which I'm loving because Teddy finally, like, I know no screen time before 2, whatever. All I want to do is have him cuddle with me and watch movies. And he's starting to be able to watch like maybe 10 minutes at a time. So I wrap him up in my cozy blankets, and we just have the best time. And that's how we're going to survive this winter. It's a bestseller that's like always in high demand because it's soft and it's warm, and it's like it's an insanely luxurious blanket. You can also get like regular sized or oversized. I think a throw blanket is like the best gift. Give the gift of coziness, whether it's a robe, a blanket, pajamas, whatever. I just think if you don't know what to get somebody, go cozy. You really can't go wrong gifting Cozy Earth this holiday season. All of their stuff, the fabrics are unreal, and it really doesn't pill, which is shocking to me for such a soft fabric, but the softness is superior. And they back it up too because their bedding and bath products have a 10-year warranty. I'm such a big fan of this company. And if you want to visit cozyearth.com/BeThereIn5 and use my exclusive 40% off code BeThereIn5 to give the gift of luxury this holiday season, don't forget to wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth. And visit cozyearth.com/BeThereIn5 to use my exclusive 40% off. And also, if you get a post-purchase survey, say that you heard about Cozy Earth from this podcast, because we love working with them, and I want them to know who's a Beth. Defying Gravity is also kind of the unofficial slogan of the highest of heels without foregoing comfort. And Mark Fisher Ltd. Fall 2024 collection has so many incredibly comfortable like lug sole and like sky-high platform heels or stilettos or really anything you need that also can't bring you down. But should you want to, they have really cute flats as well. Mark Fisher Ltd. Fall 2024 collection seamlessly blends casual looks with street styles and coveted trends, offering elevated details and premium materials. I spent all summer in my Elande slide sandal, like with the kitten heel, and I've been spending fall thus far living in the Bermuda lug sole. If you want like a perfect chunky boot that's like just got the sole that's not too bulky, but like honestly, what I like in a fall and winter shoe is some bulk, and they do lug soles like nobody's business. whether they're loafers or like my favorite right now are the Bermuda lug sole boots. I wear them all the time. They look cute with dresses, great with wide leg pants and kind of like a looser, more crop denim style. I wear them all the time. And I'm also wearing the Yanara heeled booty a lot, which is like a gorgeous classic pointed toe leather black booty with a gold heel. One of their most popular styles is their Zala classic pumps. You can't go wrong with these. They're super comfortable. They have a block heel. It's their best-selling style that works 24/7. I mean, I have endless shoes I like from there. I actually, on my shop, my like storefront, I made a whole Mark Fisher like landing page just so I could show you the ones I wear because I just think they do such a good job of curating styles that are like on trend, but you can wear them multiple seasons. And they're cool girl shoes. I don't know a better way to say it. And this collection also includes ultra versatile silhouettes such as menswear inspired loafers, modern sleek booties, versatile ballet flats, tall boots featuring on trend draping. And they transcend wardrobe essentials, embodying a sense of individuality and empowering every woman to make a statement with her personal style. So for understated luxury at its best this fall, shop the must-have pairs of the season and receive 20% off your purchase with code BeThereIn5 at markfisherfootwear.com. That's MARCFISHER footwear.com for 20% off with code BeThereIn5. You can watch all of these on a YouTube channel called Mr. Go Lightly. Very satisfying YouTube channel to watch. So this is Adina, the original. Jessica Vosk, who you just heard. Next one's Eden Espinosa, another one of my favorites. So that's a little different. Still like it. Next one, Shoshana Bean, iconic last performance. That's Stephanie Block. Okay, so all of these I like. Oh, this is Mary-Kate Morrissey, the current one. Okay, I won't walk through who all these are because there's so many, but this is more of like the second and third style that like really depend on the person for me, and some I really don't like, and some are like sick. And I don't use that word often. If you listen to this episode is sick. And then I promise I'll wrap up Defying Gravity. This first one, Caroline and I both had an adverse reaction to. This one. But like that was crazy. Who was that? That's a version of the second riff. I need to find an example of the third. Hold on. Here's riff number 3. I like that. You haven't heard Cynthia Erivo's?
No, so this would be my first time.
Okay, but do you want to wait for the movie?
No.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's Cynthia Erivo's, who is Elphaba in Wicked the movie, out this Friday. This episode is also not sponsored by Wicked, but I wish it was.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, I have chills.
It's stunning. Hers,
Ooh.
I heard it for the first time on Fallon, and I was like, wait, that's different. And then the second time I listened to this on YouTube, and I was like, that is clean.
It's so good. Wow. I literally have like chills. And so that's a live take that they have.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know my favorite Cynthia Erivo joint actually is with Shoshana Bean. It was
I did something bad?
Did they do that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, I don't know it. No, this is much more wholesome than that, actually. This was during the live stream Passover in 2020, and they sang, like, there can be miracles. Oh, my God. Could you pull it up and play it for the people? It's so good, Kate. Like, it's like they're both, like, they sing it on Zoom, and it's so good. And it's like one of the best. And we could fast forward to kind of the part where
the Prince of Egypt. Oh, I forgot that's a Prince of Egypt song.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Oh, Stephen Schwartz is in the video.
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay, let me share the.
Oh my God, it's so good. It literally is like, it has no business being as good as it is for like a fucking Zoom performance where everyone's just on Zoom.
Here we go. Can you see?
It's hard to keep. Who knows what miracles you cannot achieve when you believe somehow you will. You will when you believe. They don't always happen when you ask. And it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain, can't see your way through the rain. A small but still resilient voice says hope is very near. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you cannot achieve when you believe somehow you will. Somehow you will when you believe.
I'm adding that to my frisson playlist.
Yeah, good. It's so good.
I did not see the Prince of Egypt making me misty today.
I know.
It's a movie I never think about.
And, you know, I love that they're both in their sweatsuits at home, you know, like we all were. Like some of
Yeah.
us still are, me. I love the idea of like, I wonder how my neighbors are doing. And then being like, I think my neighbor is Cynthia Erivo. You know what I mean? Like, who lives next door? Who's like, wait a minute. What's happening over there? It's so good. She is so, once I found out she was being cast, obviously, in Wicked, I was excited. Oh
Did
my
you
God.
see this one on Zoom during?
Dear Evan Hansen gives me the heebies, I gotta tell you.
But you have to listen to the like full heebies. Like you can't listen to "You Will Be Found."
No, I like it, but I hate the part where they're like, repost, share, retweet.
Caroline, it's your industry.
I know.
I just want to get to the.
No, I
like,
want to listen to it. I want to.
the fact that this is not. They're all okay. What I love is they're using wired headphones.
Yep.
The entire cast of Dear Evan Hansen, the original cast, and the orchestra came on Zoom. And I'm just,
I'm not crying for this one. I did cry.
I'm not crying for this
the other one. It's just like, I think
it's
there
a
is
little
lot
bit on
of-
the nose.
It's very somatic.
Yeah.
You know, when to be like, to remember the trauma of that time period also, which we are now almost 5 years out of, like those early couple months, because this would have been April 2020, you know?
You're right.
It was very, I don't know. Hearing that, I don't know. It really does.
You don't feel found.
I didn't then. I do. I feel founder now. But
I'm
anyway,
so
I was
sorry.
no.
So
I'm
late.
very happy to do this. That's what I was saying. When I heard Cynthia Erivo was being cast, I was very excited because of that performance. I really am like, she can do anything.
Her, and her.
It's also crazy that she's our age.
What's the next riff I wanted to go through?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I really like Alice Fern's last performance too. Let me play a little of that. I really love her version of The Wizard and I. So here's that. This is Alice Fern.
When people see me, they will scream. For all of us is bravery.
What's it called when singers go, like they do the,
I don't know.
you know what I mean? It's like a,
What do you mean?
yeah, like it's like a squeak. Like Taylor Swift does it in like on purpose.
Oh, Demi
in some
Lovato
songs.
does it in Give Your Heart a Break also. It's like, don't want to break your heart.
Yes. Some singers do that a lot. It's like not my
But it's not
favorite.
like cracking, right?
No, it's not cracking, it's squeaking. But how bad of a bet was it that Disney put out the radio version of Let It Go with Demi and not Adina?
Bad.
Bad news bears.
It's always like it's kind of the version of like, remember at the which I also think was good, but I think we have less of a pot to pick from. But like, remember at like the end of Aladdin, it's like Peebo Bryson and Celine Dion, or like,
God, I love Peebo.
I know Peebo Bryson. Okay, I do, but one person, and I don't remember who it is. I'm sure it's in here. Does like Fiero, and it like goes really high.
Is this option 3?
Oh wait,
fuck.
Jackie Burns is a Celine. Lindsay Pierce is Rose.
No, Jackie Burns is who we saw.
We saw, but also Lindsay Pierce, we saw her as Rose.
Anyways, there's like a lot of different riffs you can do with like Ever Again, Fiero, etc.
Love.
And my favorite, we talked about how we think with The Wizard and I is better than Defying Gravity.
Totally.
I love Jessica Vosk's pronunciation of wizard because she says wizard instead of wizard.
The wizard.
It's kind of like hard to explain.
Oh, totally. God, it's so fun.
I just want to find Jessica.
I don't think I could ever do that part and wear that hat.
That's what I was saying. That outfit. Oh. Ugh. She has so much control. I hate this alphabet outfit so much.
The hat is giving like a guy who is hacky sacking. I don't know.
No, you're so right.
It's like a crocheted cap. I hate it.
It's like if the center of a Venn diagram between a proper beanie and a yarmulke.
Yes, and it's not good.
It's a short cap. It's a short beanie that's chunkily knit and with a long braid glasses and like a skirt suit. And it's just, this is truly, I can't believe this hasn't been modified over time. It's just not a good outfit. And I don't think it's part of the story.
I don't think it's part of the story. I think it takes away. But I don't think I could be confidently being like, Hannah, and wearing that hat. I'd be like, what do people think I look like?
Okay, and this is my personal favorite, The Wizard and I.
Okay.
When people see me,
Can you hear
they
it?
will scream.
Oh, shut
We're
up.
half
Kate.
of Oz's favorite team.
Guess who it is?
The Wizard.
Caroline! That is Caroline motherfucking Moss! Mama Slay!
Mama Slay at the play.
Mama Slay at the play. Caroline, when you said that to me earlier, I was like, are you kidding me? Because I've heard you sing before, but almost like talk sing, joke sing. I don't think I've heard you belt. And I don't think I understood you have like, you're like, you're a trained singer.
I'm, actually,
you are.
I guess I am now. I do take voice lessons now, so I have been trained.
Is that,
That's right.
Are you not so proud of that?
I am proud of that. Should I go for it? Like, should I go for it?
Yes. Don't throw away your shot, please.
I can't throw away my headshot.
I need people to bombard at G-Dinks. Just bought it with encouragement to not throw away her headshot.
That is so funny.
Thank you.
I am so excited to see this movie.
Me too.
I think it is going to like stir something really youthful in
change
me.
something within you.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Okay, here's the thing. What songs are we not seeing in the like for good? End of the end is part 2. The Wizard and I, part 1. Fiero.
Most of the good famous
No Good
songs
Deed.
are.
So does the movie end on Defying Gravity?
The movie's going to end on Defying Gravity. Act 2 is Thank Goodness, Wonderful, As Long as You're Mine, No Good Deed,
God, As Long as Your Mind
For
is so
good,
good.
finale. So that's why I'm a little worried because the anchor song there in terms of like commercial viability is For Good. And
Yes.
Act 1 has the bangers.
I am surprised that they released Defying Gravity and Cynthia's Last Note. If
I know.
that is the song that is closing the movie.
I've been told, and by that I mean influencers on TikTok that have been invited.
You read it on Reddit.
That
okay.
the absolute breakout song of Wicked the movie Act 1 is Dancing Through Life with Jonathan Bailey.
Is John? Wait.
He's from Bridgerton, right?
I think so, yeah.
I know nothing about this man, but apparently he did it in one clean take. And all of like Ari and Cynthia's interviews, they're like, your mind's gonna be blown.
Dancing Through Life. Okay,
So
that's exciting.
that's not a standout song to me, but apparently it's like such a linchpin of storytelling that it's important, but I just don't, it's not a song I ever think about. The other thing I wanted to ask you about per my slideshow, every talk sing moment deserves a chance to die. I'm really picky about fly.
Yeah, deserves a chance to fly. Yes.
And I'd say most people do it in a way I don't like it.
There's nothing. I mean, when Taylor does it, I cringe. When Idina Menzel does it, I cringe. It's so musical theater. So like you'd think there's a part of me that like actually appreciates it, but it's probably my least favorite part of the art.
How do you feel about Melt?
What's Melt?
In the one talk song word in Wizard and I is Melt.
Oh, right. I feel so happy I could melt. You know,
This entire this is gonna be a super cut of us
just like,
and then it's like that Doug. Is that
yeah, and then me going like, oh, F sharp. I was happy I could melt. I think it's melt doesn't bother me as much as
fly?
fly.
Fly. Some people do it too abruptly.
There's a chance to fly, and it's just very like okay.
Cynthia Erivo did fly. Did you hear her? She was like fly. She didn't do like fly.
Yeah, fly. Yeah.
I cannot mimic voices for the life of me. But I thought her take was really interesting and it was much lower.
I'm wondering about popular. I don't like it, but I do think it's going to be a big.
Yeah, Ari's popular. Okay, how do you feel about Ariana Grande? I didn't ask.
I don't really have actually here nor there feelings about her. The thing that I like about her the most was when she did red carpet hosting at the VMAs and they literally put her outside. And I always remember that and be like, she had humble beginnings. And so I respect that.
Was she singing One Less Problem Without You?
She wasn't. I don't think she was. Yeah, right. One less one. I mean, that's a great song. I don't really have strong feelings about Ariana Grande, but I really like that she has gone from like Disney Channel original and 13 on Broadway and like kind of being like a little wonderkin to being like a legitimate pop star.
I know people are mad about SpongeBob. I don't know what happened. I don't think anybody knows what happened. I haven't deep dove it. So
people said that he cheated on his wife and like they had a child. And I was like, a lot of people cheat on their wives.
But I also really trust Bowen Yang. And he said if people knew the real story, they'd feel differently.
Wow. All right. Well, then you don't have to tell me anything else.
Can you tell me your favorite line from Domingo?
Oh, at the Marriott. Still Googling Domingo. That is my favorite. But, I can tell you Nora's favorite also. Nora's favorite line from Domingo is, just kidding, Matt. We're glad she has you. So
when
funny.
I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is cute. Bridesmaids are so cringy and do this. And they got so much of it was so accurate. Like, I think that Heidi's we're glad she has you is just like so accurate to what would actually happen.
Yes.
Ariana singing off key on purpose is so funny.
Yes.
What's my favorite word she says off key? It starts with the bridesmaids wanted
a celebration. Yeah.
My favorite
so we took a trip.
is cross the line. The way her off key cross the line is like she is a perfectly executed acting of
so good.
Oh God. The thing I wanted to show you. Hold on. Share. This is my point of entry with Cynthia Erivo, and in these trying times, I just wanted to remind people that this exists. And I feel like the Broadway snobs of the world. I don't know. I don't feel like musical people like Greatest Showman as much as I do. And
I love Greatest Showman. Wait, if you were about to play what I think you're about to play,
oh yeah.
I was going to ask you if this. I was going to ask you if this affected you as much as it affected me.
Wait for it. Cynthia Erivo's the one riffing. Can you imagine being here?
No.
That
Yeah, right in the middle of your sinus.
This Is Me and from now on workshops of Greatest Showman to get it greenlit are absolutely insane.
The one where Kayla Settle is singing "This Is Me" and Hugh Jackman goes, and he has like the emotional like. And let's stop. Wait, can you play that one? Can we close out with that?
What I wouldn't give to be in one of these rooms.
That's what I'm telling you. I got to be in the room where it happens. She was in Waitress, and she's so good.
I'm also the girl in the red and the express top and the layered necklaces.
She is in like a real limited.
So fucking good.
Were you a Spring Awakening head or no?
No, but I am in the gruff sauce Leah Michelle lore.
You have seen the video where he is crying and she goes, "Jonathan."
Yes,
it's
I
so
love that.
funny.
It's one of my favorites.
As much as she is my enemy, I do really find her charming in that moment.
My rapid fires for you are: have you ever seen an original cast? That's like well known.
Plenty
Which
of
ones?
times.
Oh, really? A lot.
I saw the Rent original cast. I'm almost positive I saw Wicked original cast, but I can't claim for sure.
Dang.
I saw Spring Awakening original cast. I saw Hamilton original cast.
Oh my God.
I live in New York. I know you met me when I lived in LA.
Original cast is you don't really understand the iconography until
no,
hindsight,
you don't.
Right?
I mean, I knew when I was seeing Hamilton what I was seeing, but I don't think anything
Have you ever
else
stage doored?
Yeah, that's my famous Leah Michelle story.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, I forgot.
I sure have.
Did you ever go see the epic flop in more ways than one? Literally, people, plunging to their deaths. Spider-Man the musical.
I didn't see it. I am not like a superhero girl, so even a Broadway show about it is not going to get me.
Me neither. If you could pick a jukebox musical for one artist, who would it be?
Okay.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist. Okay. I guess like Stevie Nicks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Silver
I don't think
Springs?
Oh yeah, Silver Spring. And I don't think Stereophonic counts, to be sure, because that is
Okay.
technical.
Yeah.
And if it's true, and if people are gonna get technical about that, I guess who I would pick is Bonnie Raitt.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Because I would love to hear someone sing "I Can't Make You Love Me."
Ugh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mine is really weird and
Who would-
actually wouldn't work because the vocal range isn't that good. But I think this is a band that everybody loves all the songs from and they forget about it.
Okay.
The Goo Goo Dolls.
It would be so good.
I
Baby's
want
Black
it to be
Balloon.
called Black Balloon or Iris.
Yeah.
Um,
Broadway is dark
I was
tonight.
going to ask
Lends
you if
itself.
you have any like wild or like memories of shit going down at cast parties, but you already said your first kiss.
My first kiss. Oh, and
Um,
also at the Into the Woods cast party, the paper we got paper plate awards that we all made. Like all the cast members voted for the other people. Do you know what mine was?
No.
Most likely to be jailbait.
Does
Yeah.
that mean like you're underage and doing bad things?
Yes, that I'm most likely to have a statutory situation with
Yeah,
someone
because you're
older.
Frenching in the corner.
Yeah, because I'm a big slut. And the parents were in the room when that was given to me. My parents were like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my God, you guys stop. Because I was probably flirting with like, because I think my boyfriend was like a little older than me at that time. And
You had a boyfriend that's so cool.
Yeah, my senior year, I was dating a guy. I met a guy my freshman year of high school in Saturday detention who I would then hook up with on and off for 4 years. And my senior year, he came back into town and we were dating and they wouldn't let me take him to prom because he was like, he was too old. I was 18 or I was 17 and he was like 20.
I did
And they
an
were like,
episode
he cannot
once.
come to the high school proms.
Oh, I did an episode called "Tis the Damn Seasoning," and it was about people who rekindled relationships with high school people over like Thanksgiving or winter break that like came back.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have stories about this. One and two, usually people can take their older paramour to homecoming prom, but I guess not. I guess the thing about your high school is they're very discerning about age at school dances, but not about race in musicals.
That's right. That's right. They picked one lane and it was the wrong one. But yes, but actually I ran into this guy at Target like 3 months ago. It was the first time I've seen him in probably 20 years. And he said to me, I'd know that face anyway. And I said,
that is a sweet thing to
it was
say
very
at a
sweet.
Target.
yeah. He said, I
What
know that
aisle?
face anywhere. We were in the women's clothing section. He looking for his drag costume. No, he was picking out something and I don't remember. He might have been walking by me and I was standing at like an end cap looking at a sweater.
Yeah, you famously love a New Day line.
I know. And he was like, yeah, he said, I know that face anywhere. And he was like with his kids. And I was like,
that is
hello.
such a theatrical thing to say because most normal people would never say anything and they'd walk away.
1,000%. But none of us were normal. He was also in theater.
My last question was like, if you karaoke a Broadway song, what do you pick?
I mean,
gorgeous.
It's Take Me or Leave Me from Rent.
Really?
It's, I mean, it's just so fun.
It is fun.
It's just so freaking fun. It's a fun song. Now, what about you? Karaoke.
Well, I would never karaoke. Well, I have karaoke my shot, which I do want to advise people against. It is 6 minutes, not the.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you? Wow. Wait.
My range is very Lin-Manuel. My range is very Russell Crowe. My range is very Pierce Brosnan and Mamma Mia. It's a celebrity doing you know what I mean? Like I can fake it, but I can't hit the notes. It's Travolta in Hairspray.
Yeah.
So speaking of, my dream karaoke song is "You Can't Stop the Beat" with like friends.
Ever since the whole world began, the woman found out she could shake up a man, and so I'm gonna take it, shimmy, with all that I can today. Well, okay. Now I have a rapid fire question for you.
Mhm.
Of all of the live musicals on Fox, the Peter Pan, the Grease, The Sound of Music, Rent, what was your favorite? Did you watch any of them?
I did.
Allison Williams as Peter Pan.
Okay,
famously.
Allison Williams, Peter Pan. She disappeared afterward.
She did. That was the end.
That was tough stuff. It was the beginning of the end. I have a vague memory of feeling like Grease was well executed.
I think Grease was well executed.
Was it Julianne Hough?
Yeah. Yes.
But I'm Dancing with the Stars forward. So I was
I
ready
am
and
too.
willing for her to be on broadcast television. And I think it's like insane when God gives people dance and vocal talent.
Mhm.
And her voice is quite strong. And in that context, so I remember her being a pretty good Sandy. What was your favorite?
I think mine was Peter Pan because it was so. I felt like I was stoned.
It was so bad. And the worst part was Allison Williams in press interviews kept calling it Pan. She's like, when I was filming for Pan, I was
Dustin
like, no.
Hoffman never learned his lines. That was the funniest part. He was not off book, as they say. They were like feeding him his lines. And then Rent wasn't even live because Jordan Fisher, I think, broke his leg and they just showed us the dress rehearsal.
Oh my God, you're right.
You know why? Because that was my technically bachelorette. I called it my bachelorette. I didn't want to do a bachelorette party. It was right before I got married, and I just had all of my girlfriends over and made them watch Rent live with me.
I'm
Which
obsessed
should
with the Bachelorette.
Which should really thread the needle through this entire conversation, from all white whiz to my bachelorette party. But I was like, it was a good group, and what was funny was that it wasn't even live because Jordan Fisher like sprained his ankle doing like one song, Glory.
Forgot about that. Did you ever go to Marie's Crisis?
Yeah, not like in this iteration of my life, but definitely like in my 20s.
I've heard mixed reviews of this musical, but I want to see it because I hear it's like a really interesting visually is Moulin Rouge.
I would like to see it too, and I haven't seen it, and it's on my list. Next time you're in New York, let's go
together.
Yeah, we have to go see Wicked together too.
I think
really
the Elephant Love medley is the confrontation for millennials.
I agree with you. I had I think I've told you this before on this very podcast. I had a CD book, and like where you put all your CDs, and it was big. It like held 300 CDs or whatever. And in silver milky pen, I wrote every single word of Elephant Love medley on that thing. Love is a crazy thing. Love lifts us up where we belong.
You should be Ewan McGregor and start with All You Need Is Love.
Put on the karaoke version. Let's close out. We'll do it together.
Oh, we're not. I was just going to do it from.
Oh, no, you're going to do it. We're not going to do it from memory. Put on the music. Cut out the instrumental. Let's give these people a show.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's give these people
Nicole Kidman can't sing, right? Well, let's start playing. Okay.
All you need is. Wait. All you need. Okay. Just one night. Give me just one night.
There's no way, because you can't pay.
In the name of love. One night in the name of love.
You crazy fool. I won't give in to you.
Don't.
No, this isn't right.
This is not right.
The elephant in the room is that nobody understands the elephant love.
Yeah. Okay, try this one because this is the movie. All you need is love.
A girl has got to eat.
All you need is love. I can't hear it
She'll
anymore.
end up on the street. Me neither.
All you need is love.
Love is just a game. This is not just for us. Everybody out there,
You,
sing
baby,
along.
You were made for loving me.
The only way of loving me, baby, is to pay a lovely fee.
Just one night. Give me just one night.
There's no way, 'cause you can't pay.
In the name of love. One night in the name of love.
You crazy fool. I won't give in to you.
Don't leave me this way. I can't survive without your sweet love. Oh, baby, don't leave me this way. You think that people would have had enough
Of silly love songs.
Well, what's wrong with that? I'd like to know. 'Cause here I go again. Love lifts us up where we belong.
Harmonies.
Where eagles fly on a mountain high.
Love makes us act like we are fools. Throw our lives away for one happy day.
We can be heroes just for one day.
You will be mean.
No, I won't.
And I'll drink all the time.
We should be lovers.
We can't do that.
Good.
We should be lovers. And that's a fact.
So nothing would keep us together.
We could steal time just for one day. We can be heroes forever and ever. We can be heroes forever and ever. We could be heroes just because I will always
Can you hit these notes?
love you.
Oh, wow.
That's you.
How wonderful life is.
Now you're in the world.
This is where I would have to hum. Yay!
That's going to go
And
platinum.
this is why we have 2 vocal tracks. I can mute mine.
That is going to be really fun. No, you're not muting you.
I've always wanted to do that with a friend.
I love that. I'm glad we did it. Remember in Moulin Rouge, there was a boy. Oh, I'm going to watch Moulin Rouge going to bed tonight. I think it's going to be what I fall asleep to.
Regardless, Caroline, honestly, this was
Epic
really satisfying
episode.
for my soul. I feel like the only thing we didn't get to that I'll maybe start the episode with is NPH's Tony's opening.
Oh God, yeah. Is this your first like Broadway long?
Yeah, I've
going
never
long on
ever
Broadway? All right,
talked
we're gonna
about
have to do a
Broadway.
part 2.
But yeah,
more is we have so much more to dig through.
so much more to dig through. But I appreciate this because I just was getting back in the mood with Wicked coming out this week, and you know, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me, like a handprint on my heart.
Yeah, and though through whatever way the stories end, I know that you've rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a comet pulled from orbit I was like, what is a skybird halfway through the wood? Who can say? I want to see For Good, and I don't know that I can wait until next year.
For Good, I think ousted Time of Your Life, parentheses, Good Riddance, Green Day from graduation videos. But the thing is, it's a double entendre. It's actually that like they can't admit that they've been changed for the better because they're not really supposed to be friends. So they just say for good. Like it's not supposed to be sentimentally coded. It's just like I've been changed for good, like for the rest of time, but not. I can't say for the better. You know what I mean? But that is kind of high school.
It is. It's like, and also hags.
Also
it's
hags.
Like,
also
I've definitely been
bloods.
changed for good. It's not like in a good way. It's just like permanently.
Our musical should just have a song with yearbook slang.
I would love that. I'd be like, so we talked all night about the rest of our lives.
Well, Caroline, where can people find you? We didn't talk about gift guides this year, but we never do. God no.
If you want a gift, it's a tea towel that says, "I want you to wrap me up in your beans." What was it? You
Warm
have it.
beans.
Yeah, warm beans. You can find me at G Thanks Just Bought It Pod. And that's the longest Instagram handle there ever was, and it's mine. And I would love to see you there.
This should be a musical song. I want a burrito to tuck me gently into its
its
warm
warm
beans
beans.
and say, "Rest here, my
My child. Yeah.
Be at peace now."
Be at peace. It's amazing.
And that will be part of our musical called Gather.
It'll
a
be
millennial
Gather.
A decor story.
It'll
You're
be
the best.
amazing.
Thank
You're the
you,
best.
Caroline Moss. Follow up with us on your Broadway career. We'll be pressuring you.
Can't wait. You guys will all
Love
come
ya.
to opening night. Love you, Kate. Talk to you soon.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I thought it was so much fun. Thank you to Caroline. I actually think I'm headed off to, if you're listening Thursday, to Toronto today. I couldn't take it anymore. Per the exclusivity of musicals, I'm just like, now a grown adult. And I still am just killing time on StubHub, waiting for miracles to happen. And anyway, we're gonna make a field trip, Courtney and I. Chicago's not too far from there, and I guess I don't need to justify it, but I always feel bad because I know I've already been, but I assure you I'm not taking a well-priced ticket from anybody. I actually may be making a grave financial error. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Come back next week. I think, I don't know if since it's Thanksgiving, probably won't come out next Thursday. There'll be a Kate Liley either coming out Wednesday or Sunday. I already recorded it, and there's like so many fun questions. So I hope you'll come back and rate and review 5 stars if you don't mind, especially after, I venture into political territory. It's never pleasant. Oh, it really makes a difference. And as always, let me know your thoughts, and I'll let you know mine. I'll be there in 5, I swear.